in order to annihilate people, you have to dehumanize them and convince your own audience and your own taxpayers that they deserve it. First of all, you make an abstraction out of them. They don't exist. Palestinians don't exist in Israeli consciousness, in Israeli culture, or in Israeli education. They're just some kind of a very remote enemy, danger, threat, terrorism. In all Israeli school books, and there are hundreds of them, you don't find one photo of a Palestinian human being. You find racist representations of caricatures of Ali Baba and a camel, primitive farmers following oxen, or terrorists. Never a teacher, writer, a child, nothing. So they don't exist. They exist only as a threat. Now, as a threat or developmental problem, as they say, or demographic threat, they must be confined. They must be distanced. And this legitimates the occupation and the military government and so on. And then, since they are such a terrible problem, why not kill them? Why not eliminate them? So I think this, when it is accompanied by a very aggressive, traumatizing Holocaust education in Israel, serves to perpetuate revenge. But the revenge is not against the Germans. We are friends with the Germans. It's against the potential exterminators, who are the Palestinians. And if you listen to speeches by the Prime Minister on Holocaust Day, they always conflate Palestinians and Arabs in general with the Nazis. And then the children at the age of 16 are going to Auschwitz and Treblinka, wrapped with an Israeli flag, and they come back full of zeal to kill. And this education really prepares them to see every Palestinian, no matter what age, as a threat to be killed. Now, if you read the Confessions of Soldiers in Breaking the Silence book, you see that many of them say the same thing. They say, I was educated to believe that everything I do to Palestinians will prevent another Holocaust. Only when my rifle was aimed at a little girl did I understand who is evil. This education is so strong and so sophisticated. For example, I give you an example. In 2020, this is the last one that I checked, a history book that prepares a student for matriculation has a chapter, and also in the exam, it was the same thing, that's called The Formation of Holocaust Remembrance. And in this chapter, they tell you about Palestinian terrorist actions in Munich, in Entebbe, in here and there, and they say these actions made it easier for Israelis to identify with Holocaust survivors. So this kind of Nazification. Now, all these terrorist attacks that were in response to occupation are presented again as anti-Semitic, heinous crimes out of the blue against innocent Jews. Whether soldiers or not soldiers, they are, or our children are innocent children. And this is on matriculation. This is the resume of everything they've learned. So on one hand, there is dehumanization, racism, when you treat all the Arabs like Ali Baba with a camel. And there are texts, of course, accompanying it, that they don't like progress, they're afraid to be modernized, and so on and so forth. And the Nazification, on the other hand, of these people. And this is a wonderful preparation, a very successful one, as we see, to what we see is happening both on the West Bank and in the army and so on.